Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Up the Park. I am sad today. That's my name. How are you, Jason?
Sadder.
Sadder. And you, Shaun?
McKay out.
Hashtag McKay.
We are all depressed. Very, very depressed.
Welcome to Up the Park, a podcast dedicated to Heart of Midlothian. After
Who
that,
are the best and worst team at the same time in Scotland.
we are recording this straight after watching the Motherwell performance. We'll come into that in a bit. But today we're going to talk about the Hamilton game, Motherwell game, and then look forward to the St Johnstone game.
Well, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, but yeah.
St Johnstone.
If there's any news or anything we have to talk
The
about.
one thing I will say is Hearts' third best team in Scotland, but also
Third worst.
third
At the
worst.
same time.
It's so obvious
I know.
the gap between the first two in Hearts and then Hearts and the other ones. But we're also very capable of being as bad as the other teams,
Yeah, definitely.
especially today. But anyway,
We'll talk
start
about
with
Hamilton. We'll talk about the Hamilton game first. So, Shaun, Jason, this was your very first away game.
Robbie out.
You can't put that in.
I can.
No, you can't do
How
that.
can I know?
You can't, we'll talk about that
That
later.
is a personal opinion.
We'll talk about that later. Right, you guys, it was your first away game.
Oh, the atmosphere was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it was great.
How
It
was
a
your
great
day? Did
Oh,
you enjoy
good
the
day,
trip
eh?
It
up?
was
Well,
brilliant.
apart from having to wonder about Hamilton. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Sorry for any
yeah.
people who live in Hamilton.
Nobody lives in Hamilton.
You live in a shithole.
Also, there is a car park next to the stadium if anybody ever goes up, no having to park a mile away, Brendan.
It's good for you to walk.
Is that what it is? Aye. That was a great day, and then getting to the stadium and managing to get through that under passage into the stadium that you thought somebody might have just walked out and killed you. Atmosphere was incredible.
I mean, the
Absolutely
stadium's crap, isn't it?
incredible. Oh, it is terrible.
It's-
And
I quite like the sort
crap.
of
The pitch.
smallness of the
Aye, it
stadium.
felt-
I quite like
it felt-
We were
like-
standing in a gazebo.
yeah, we were.
One of the seat railings fell.
Yeah,
I did, aye.
That's how cheap their stadium is. It literally fell apart in front of us when they killed a child.
Yeah, nobody touched it either, it just fell by itself.
I'm pretty sure Shaun touched it. Like.
Aye, maybe did. Aye.
If just before I'd hit the kid, I'd have kicked it a bit harder.
Shaun, what did you think of the football then?
No, it was. I'd say like 70 minutes of the game was excellent, but like the 20 minutes where Hamilton actually looked better than us was a bit worrying. But again, we might have won the game 2-0 and progressed to the next round, but some of the tactical decisions in the substitutes in the second half was unbelievable. Like putting who did he take off? He put McKay in midfield for a bit. He had Forrest playing out of position for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just hate it. And then he waited. He brought Cammy Devlin on 10 minutes after he should probably come on.
Yeah, he took off George Grant, who got injured.
Yeah.
And he
Put
brought
on-
on Alan Forrest.
Yeah, that was.
And like-
Alan Forrest played central midfield for a little bit.
It was Mackay, Forrest in the
Yeah.
middle with Snodgrass.
Yeah.
That made absolutely no
And
sense
then about 10 minutes in, Hamilton dominated, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
he brought on Cammy Devlin,
and it just sorted the
and
game
it
out.
sorted it up.
The
Aye.
first half, all round, was fantastic. We should have probably been 3 or 4-0 up
Yep.
in the first half. We had a really, really good game. But at the end of the day, we're playing a team that are a level below us.
Yeah.
So we should be relatively dominating those games. But it was the atmosphere was excellent.
It was.
The Hearts away fans are the absolute best fans.
they are, like,
I love them.
it was
But,
brilliant, like.
Aye,
Brilliant.
it was. A great atmosphere.
Yeah.
I thought-
Humphreys' goal was good as well.
Phenomenal.
Humphreys' goal was excellent.
I thought-
He took it
really
well.
good.
He should have scored a couple more.
He should
though.
have. Kingsley had a couple of chances for corners as well.
Yeah.
I will say, first half I thought Hearts were excellent. I know they're only playing bottom of the championship, Hamilton, but some of the football, pressing high, dominating, getting the wing backs in, which is the way we're supposed to play a 5 at the back. I thought first half excellent, and then the last 20 minutes just controlled it.
Yeah.
In the end,
Yeah.
but there was that little worrying spell in the middle, but we got through it, and we're in the next round, and I mean we got out, but I mean, of course we got fucking Celtic, didn't we?
It was always
We were going to have to play them sometime.
It was always going
I
to
get
be
that,
Celtic or Rangers, wasn't it?
Aye.
It was
At least we got them at home.
Yeah, aye.
Yeah,
At least we
Know
got
that it
the.
really matters with us.
At least we got the old firm member that we actually try against.
Yeah.
You know, if we got Rangers at home, we just laid back.
Well,
and
that
let
means
them win.
if we beat Celtic at home and somehow manage to make the final, we'll just lie down to Rangers again. So
like we did last year.
joyous, aye. But anyway, try to be positive.
in the second half, the Hamilton, they really came out strong. Didn't
Hamilton
they?
played well. They
came out strong for
reacted
15
well.
minutes
They
after.
reacted well to Robbie's ridiculous substitutes.
Right, they did have some
They
good
seen
moments.
an opportunity to take control of the midfield when we only had 35-year-old Snodgrass and two wingers.
They were always going to at least pose a little bit of a threat, though.
I mean, they put some good crosses in, but I actually remember them having a clear goal scoring opportunity.
They didn't worry us. They had really good spells on the ball, but they didn't look like they were going to come and win the game.
Nah. So, I mean, it was comfortable in the end.
Yeah.
It was just nice to experience that atmosphere.
I only got to see Big Dylan McGowan.
And I actually saw yesterday Connor Smith scored for Hamilton.
Oh, did he?
He did. I think it was a penalty, but
That's
he's
two. No, he's
got two. He's got already. So hopefully the loan spell will do him some good.
Well, he's out of contract.
Well,
season. He'll be gone, like.
Is he one of the ones they released?
Nah.
He'll probably stay on then.
Well, they haven't announced he's in contract talks either, so
It's just a new system.
it depends if he gets another offer. If he gets an offer of Hamilton for first team football in the Championship, he'll take that, won't he?
Well, maybe the Championship.
If they stay in the
They'll
Championship,
stay up. They should stay up. They look decent enough to stay up. They look decent enough to actually be able to, do a decent amount of football in the Championship. Cammy Devlin's goal?
Tenacious.
Took it well, yeah.
Typical Cammy.
He just fought his way through the defence.
Put the pressure on, made the tackle, scored the goal. That was typical Cammy Devlin.
But today he forgot how to play football.
He's been terrible. He was terrible against Motherwell. He really was.
So who would you said the man of the match is for the Hamilton game?
Snodgrass,
I think.
Snodgrass controlled that game.
I thought Humphries was really good.
Humphries had a good game.
Snodgrass just controlled that. But he had time on the ball.
Barry Mackay played well, but that's because that's his fucking level.
Yeah, Shaun is not a fan.
Oh, he needs
Barry
to go
Mackay.
away. Like, seriously.
To be fair, I didn't think he was that good against Hamilton.
He's pish.
Nah,
He wasn't even that good.
Couple
Like.
of good runs, but it's like
I can forgive somebody giving the ball away quite a lot if their end product gets us goals or assists. He does nothing.
Nah.
Absolutely nothing. One good run, two good runs a game, and then his end product is terrible, or he runs into a closed fucking shop. So what's the point? Like, and what? Honestly, how good is he at blowjobs? Because Robbie Nielsen keeps playing him, so he must be good at them. Like, he must be able to get the balls in and everything.
there's a guy who sits in front of me at Tynecastle, and he says that he thinks that Barry Mackay's got a clause in his contract that he has to play a certain amount of minutes, either per game starting or per game coming on as a substitute. So he's always going to play or always going to be in a squad. He's always going to start because Robbie thinks he's got this magic touch, which he has at times.
He's not had a magic touch
But
since last year.
When you've got
To be fair,
players,
Sunday night.
you've got players who are
No, he had 10 men.
you've got players who are desperate for a starting role in that team. Time to drop them, prove a point. You know,
Yeah.
For who though?
who am I playing
Who'd you
ahead
play
of
over
them? Any of them.
Grant.
Grant could play there.
Needs to start games.
I
He was. Oh, that's actually one thing. He was fantastic against Hamilton.
was going to mention George Grant. He was excellent
until he went off injured.
that
He
was-
was fantastic.
But when he went off, that's when Hamilton got control.
What worries me about George Grant is he plays really well when he's got time on the ball, but in the top league he did get time on the ball. I mean, today he gave the ball away loads because he got pressed.
Yeah, he
The
did.
whole Hearts
He
team
did.
was shite.
The whole like
Everybody.
Apart
was
from Xander
the
Clark.
only player that was any good was Xander Clark,
Aye.
and that's only because he kept it at 2-0.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's doom and gloom today, lads.
Yeah.
It really
It's
is.
fine. We've only got Celtic in the cup.
Aye.
Aye, what do you think about that then?
I worry. We
Right.
did stand a chance against Celtic. And I don't care what anybody says, right? I love Hearts to bits, but we're still nowhere near that level.
Oh, we're nowhere near.
never going to be.
We're
near
never
that
going to
level.
be there.
We can't close that gap. It's impossible.
I mean, let's be serious. If you went and had a quick search now, when was the last time we probably beat Celtic in a League Cup game?
Oh, God knows.
It's probably years ago.
We beat them in the league at the start of last season.
Aye, that was at the start of Ange's thing. So
Aye.
if you put them,
Yeah.
they're not the same team.
They
The time before that was when we beat them like 5-1 to beat the.
Oh,
No,
we broke
5-2.
we broke their record or
4-2.
something.
4-1.
Um,
something like that.
4-1.
4-1.
They Celtic aren't just winning games now.
They're
They're
smashing
smashing
Yeah.
anybody that they come up against.
They're
They're
too good.
unbeaten at Parkhead in 35 games.
They haven't lost a game
in the league.
They haven't lost a game in the league for 5 months. They've won 23.
No, really?
23 of the last 24 games have been wins. The only one was that draw against Rangers. So how are you supposed to compete with that?
You can't. They've
You
got
can't
too much.
compete
They've
with
got too much money.
The players that they've got are of a much higher calibre than we can attract. Which
The
is,
gap is way too big.
It is.
It is way too big. What we need to concentrate on is getting away from the other teams rather than getting closer to Rangers and Celtic. Because we're not going to be able to get close to them.
So how
It'll take
do
fucking
you
years.
so ignoring Rangers and Celtic, right? How do you be that best team?
By consistently getting Europe every single season.
and not going to Fir Park and losing.
Right,
2-0.
exactly. So how do you stop that?
By consistently beating the other teams.
How do you do that?
By having better players and more consistent players. But you need money to do that. You need money to be able to buy players that are consistent enough to do it week in,
So the
week
manager
out.
gets no blame.
Oh, the manager takes blame.
The manager takes blame, but like we'll talk about in the future for this episode, the Motherwell game, honestly, I don't think Robbie Nelson could do much more.
First half you can.
The players were shocking. They couldn't even pass it 3 yards in front of them.
The first
half
half
the time.
you can make a change. You can change something.
But he changed it at half time. You know, we complain about Robbie Nielsen's game management all the fucking time. He made a change at half time, changed it up, changed the way we were playing,
And
know,
it didn't
and
work.
then made 3 subs. Yeah, I know, but that's not down to
Well,
him.
it is. But
The
if
players,
you're sitting there and
you
you're
have
like,
to be
tell
able
you
to
what I'm going to
blame
do.
the
I'm going to
players.
change the formation. Right, I'll do that. That's fine. I'll change the formation. I'll bring players on. I'll put Alan Forrest at right back and Natty Atkinson, who's a natural right back, at left back.
you have to be able to blame the players. Cochrane lost his man.
No,
in the
you
set
can you can
piece.
you can blame the players to an extent,
James
but at
Hill
the same
lost his
time,
man in the second goal.
our level of football in the first half, passing it back sideways, slow.
Oh, it's too.
Lawrence Shanklin dropping to defensive midfield to pick up the ball. That's the manager.
I'll admit that the formation isn't the best, and the style of football we play probably isn't made for the team that we have. We don't have the players that are technical enough and ability-wise can make these sorts of passes in fast pace that he wants to do.
So you deploy that style of football then?
But he'll argue we beat Aberdeen 5-0 and we beat Hibs twice 3-0.
Yeah, we didn't play well though.
And we
That
didn't.
doesn't.
That's what he'll argue. That's what he'll
get that.
argue.
Yeah, but then he's
I get
wrong.
That's what he'll argue.
Then he's completely wrong.
What I would say to Robbie Nielsen is, earlier this season when a lot of our defenders were injured, he had to play a 4 at the back, and I arguably think Hearts were better.
They were better.
We played a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, and we were better. We had Shanklin right up top where he is most effective, and so I get it. The 5 at the back worked. He got results last season as well. Although we did have a seriously worrying drop off of form towards the end of last season.
That's the issue with this formation.
We're so
Is
inconsistent.
if the formation doesn't stay consistent and you play at the high pace that you need to play at for a 5 at the back to work, you lose points to teams like Aberdeen and Motherwell because they're no stupid and they've got good players.
Yeah.
So they can. Motherwell didn't play long ball football today.
No,
they didn't.
they
They outplayed us on the ground.
They
were
they
just hungrier.
cared more.
They were
Yeah.
hungrier
They were
for
hungry.
it. They were-
more,
In my eyes, it's like that was our full team. I kind of think of one player that would maybe Rolls coming in. That's it.
They
He's a bit
didn't
older
look
than one.
bothered
Yeah.
at all today.
That worries
At
me.
all.
Though. That worries me more than Robbie's.
It's Robbie's job to
Tactical
get them up for
crapness.
it though.
This is it.
Professional footballers, like
I know.
they should be able to get themselves up for these
The
games.
thing is, though, you can't like the amount of times that Hearts this season have dragged themselves back from games. You can't blame the players because they've tried, they've done it. Look at the Livy game where we dragged it back at the last minute. Atkinson scoring from outside the box in the last minute, pushing Celtic to a 4-3. That's all the players. You can't now physically blame them for one bad performance like that.
But it is the
Our
players.
style of football does not work for the Scottish League to be consistently good.
I think
The
it
Scottish
relies.
football, it never has been and never will be slow passing football,
Nah,
So you can't-
our system relies on our defence being absolutely fantastic.
which is shit.
That's what it relies
Right,
on.
sure.
We were fantastic against Aberdeen. We
Exactly.
were fantastic against Hibs.
It's
in
still the
defence.
1950s.
No, but that's what it relies on. That's what it relies on.
Aye.
We've got a very defensive team, though.
We
Most
have a
of our
very
best players
yeah.
are defenders.
Well, no, well, you
because
say
that's
that.
what he signed.
He signed defensive.
He signs defenders.
He signed all these defenders, but he's also got. We play 3 attacking players, right? But we've got 7,
Yeah.
and yet
And yet he plays some of them in defence.
Humphreys was garbage today.
He was.
Absolutely.
He
Oh,
was shite
Humphreys
today.
was shit.
But Alan Forrest was brought in as a 10 or a winger, and he's played with right wing
Oh,
back more
Alan,
than he's
like,
played
that
with
winds
anywhere
me
else.
up because Alan Forrest has proved this season that if you play him in the right position, he scores goals because he's done it.
Yeah, he's a
You
good
play him
player.
on the
I
right
like
wing
Alan
or you
Forrest.
play him behind the striker and he scores your goals. George Grant, every single game he played for Peterborough, he was behind the striker. We play him in midfield alongside Snodgrass, which instantly means that the Grant can't move forward because Snodgrass needs protection.
I don't understand why Cammy's getting pushed forward more.
And that was a strange in the day when you're seeing Snodgrass sit in a defensive midfield role and Devlin's playing up as
Well,
a 10.
if you're
We need
taking
three people
if you're
in
taking
midfield.
Cammy off, you bring on Keogh. I don't care how shit he
Yeah.
is or how bad he's been playing. He comes on because as soon as you take your defensive midfielder off in a midfield 2, you lose the midfield, and it happened
Yeah.
today. They absolutely just walked through us.
The formation, I agree that formation needs to change. He needs to go back to that other one that he used to play. the 3-4-3 or whatever it was before, rather than this free. I don't even care what the fuck it is, to be honest. Really,
he'll know himself the day that was shit.
He doesn't say it though. Honestly, definitely
he'll blame the ref, or he'll say
he doesn't see it.
He'll just say the players didn't move it fast enough, and we weren't at all the races the day. And we'll go on to St Johnstone.
He doesn't. He honestly doesn't see it though, does he? He doesn't take any blame for any of the issues.
The thing is, on us, St Johnstone, they're no the best football team in the world, but if we play like that, even at home against them, they will bother us.
Oh, they will.
They will give us some serious.
They're more
bother.
physical than us. So I mean, Civic, Hill, and Kingsley all the day struggled with that Obika fella.
Yeah,
they did.
Right, and they struggled with Stephen Fletcher as well.
Mm-hmm.
The only player that didn't struggle with Stephen Fletcher was Kai Rold.
Yep.
You'll play Carroll.
They struggled with Morelos too when Rangers came because he's physical and they didn't like it.
I just don't get it. Honestly, I just like I mean, it's basic stuff you see in amateur football. If you're losing 1-0 at half time to the team that's bottom of the league, who you know they're going to concede goals if you press them, to pass it along every single backline player. Oh, it's absolutely depressing to watch.
It didn't go forward enough today. That's the one.
Didn't go forward at all. I got 2 shots on target or something.
Shankland was isolated.
Having to drop to
Having to
defence
drop in the midfield. I feel sorry for Shankland. Really
playing the
do.
Casemiro role. With 21 goals in his pocket.
It's just frustrating because I know watching Hearts this season, we are better than that. And we've got
we're
players
much better than that.
who are better
We're
than that.
much better than that.
But I don't know what's happening.
We were playing a 4-3-3 and playing half decent football when we were missing half the squad. Imagine what you could do now with a full squad.
Yeah, I know.
You can put your Snodgrass in there, and then you can play Cammy in defence and midfield, and you can play George Grant in the middle if you're playing a 4-3-3.
You could die.
He needs to play free in midfield. We need to shore up the midfield more.
Yeah, we're leaving Snodgrass too isolated.
Because
you can't do it all yourself.
Again,
we rely on him way too much.
All game, there's 2 people on him.
Aye.
So he can't do anything. So all he can do is pass it fucking back all the time. And then you're taking, or Cammy is so far up the fucking pitch that he's leaving Snodgrass by him fucking self half the time, and then you swap him out for Grant, who's basically an attacking midfielder.
Yep.
And then Lawrence Shanklin's deeper than fucking Grant in the second half most of the time. You know what I mean? It should be the other way around.
Well, I think for the last 4 or 5 games, bar maybe the Hamilton game, so you include in dust the league, I think we've ended the game with like 4 or 5 players out of position.
Aye, every time.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
Because who was at the day? Atkinson
was at left back. Aye.
Forrest was at right back.
Yep.
Shanklin was basically a fucking midfielder. Mackay was on the wrong side.
Mackay's a left winger. Mackay's been a left winger his entire career. Alan Forrest either plays attacking midfield, right winger, or right wing back, and he was playing him on the left.
I didn't care what our formation was by the end of the game.
Not sure.
Oh no, there wasn't one.
I'm not sure what Barry Mackay's position is. I think
Barry Mackay's fucking shit.
I think bench would probably be best for him at the moment.
I'm fucking sick of him. I'm sick of seeing
he's a ghost man. He had 50% every
he had
game.
a good run last season, and kudos to him for that. But you can go invisible for a couple games, right? If you still win those games. But in a game against Motherwell, which is really a must-win because it would have took us an extra 3 points ahead, and you're just like, you didn't even show up, like you didn't even try.
But then you can argue that none of them did.
Nah, it was just such a weird performance.
It was just disjointed and like they never had a fucking clue what they're supposed to be doing. Which that does come down to the manager because he sets that team up, he trains that team all week to play a certain system, and there's times
honestly,
where Hearts players do not know what they're fucking
doing. Can you
doing.
actually go to a Hearts training session and watch it?
No.
Because I'd love to know what he's doing.
Is Robbie Nielsen even there? Because I mean,
yeah, he's the coach.
Are you sure?
He's a coach, like.
Because honestly, that kind of players just do seem to ken what they're supposed to be doing. It's frustrating, it really is. I mean, we went there earlier this season, we didn't play well, and we won 3-0. And we went there the day and we didn't play well and got pumped.
It's because we defended well.
The first 15 minutes of the day though.
Oh, we played well at the start.
Fucking unreal.
Unreal.
We were thinking, what the fuck?
We completely gave up.
As soon as that first goal went in for Motherwell, it was game over. I knew Hearts weren't.
There was no reaction. Like you said, we're too reactive and no proactive.
Yeah. All the runs are so fucking reactive. Like I was saying to you, nobody actually takes a risk and runs forward or makes a run. Oda comes on, makes runs in the channels, does all these...
Nobody passes them.
And it's fucking infuriating.
Because they've been told not to play the passes.
It's fucking infuriating.
Take the safe option, turn back and go to
Cool
the
wasn't
back.
good today either.
Nah, he was
but the thing is, though, the thing with Cool is his confidence going to be in the bin because he's been signed on loan for 6 months to get game time, and then Robbie Nielsen comes out and does that ridiculous interview saying, "Oh, we need to ease him into the team." You've only got him for 6 months.
I don't think he has been signed on loan for 6 months to play games. I think he's been signed on for 6 months to get him used to British culture.
Nah.
And to
Why
get him
sign him?
settled.
What a waste of time.
Because we won't be paying any his wages.
Waste of time.
Aye.
If we're signing a player, screw the culture for
It'll be development.
doing Newcastle a favour. Sign players who will play, make the team better. Just sit them on the bench and say, "Oh, he's here to learn the culture." He's Australian.
I know. It'll be.
What's
to get used to
It's
it.
just a bit hotter. There's no snakes here. Just play football.
It'll be just to get him used to
Your
sort of
your house
society.
in the UK is not owned by a huntsman spider.
Don't get us wrong, I would love to see him get a start.
It's owned by Robbie Nielsen.
Aye. So do we got to talk about Robbie Nielsen then?
What?
And where we stand on Robbie
Well,
Nielsen?
I've
Because
been-
I know what Shaun
Oh.
I
thinks.
said it at the start of the season. I think it's done. He's done. Like he will potentially consistently get us third place, but this style of football is completely inconsistent.
But that's all we can ask of him.
No, it's not. You can ask more with the money we've spent. We're getting into Europe.
If we get third every single season and make a cup run, you can't ask
You
any
need to
more.
win stuff. You need to win a cup.
We're facing Celtic in the next round.
If
You
it-
know
if-
that we're going to get
If
beat.
St Johnstone can win 2 in a season, Hearts can win a bloody trophy.
But I mean, come on.
There's a
How
one-off.
many times does that
A
happen?
one-off.
You're telling me we can't beat Rangers?
I'm not saying we can't beat Rangers.
'Cause
I'm saying
Rangers
that
are
for some
shit.
reason there's a mental
9 out
block.
of 10 times we can't beat Rangers.
There's a mental block against them.
The
for some
last
reason.
4 times we've played Rangers, they have been crap, and we hadn't even tried.
Because we
and why have we not tried? Because Robbie Nielsen's shitty football.
It's not that though. We faced Celtic.
You're right.
And we were fantastic.
I'm gonna burst everybody's bubble, and I'm just gonna say it right. It wasn't that good. We got 2 penalties. They scored 4 goals.
That was a good game.
Aye, I thought Hearts played well.
That was a good game. We played
2 penalties.
fantastic.
2 penalties.
Doesn't matter
I
how
don't
you
care.
score.
Doesn't matter. 2 penalties. They
Doesn't
scored
matter.
4 for open play.
Oh, they always do though.
Right. So you're saying that we're gonna have to rely on VAR to get penalties?
Right.
But they were base penalties though, so you can't take
Burst
them away.
everybody's bubble. I'm sorry, but nah, it wasn't that good. How in the hell did David De Gea just save that? Sorry, we've got the Man United game at the same time. What the hell?
That was almost as
What
good
a-
as Xander Clark,
What a save by Kettlewell.
the Spanish kettlewell.
The Spanish Kettlewell.
Aye.
So you're Robbie in or out, Jason?
Still Robbie in at the moment. I think. Right, the thing about Robbie is, I like him. I like him,
yeah.
and I think to myself, looking at the managers, all the teams below us, he's definitely the best of them. I would say.
Yeah.
I do like. I would say he's the best of them. I also do think he's very limited in his tactics, but
It's game management.
that's something that he should try and improve on.
But he's had time to.
He's had time. I
But
get
the
that.
thing is though,
but
even he knows in his head, how long did it take them to get Craig Leveinu?
aye,
But
he's
it
safe.
doesn't matter what Robbie Nielsen does, he's the safest
safe.
job in Scotland.
If he keeps getting third and getting European football and
I
cup
don't even
runs
think
into
he'll still get third.
the quarters,
No, third's the minimum.
Aye,
I don't
he
think
will-
will.
he will keep his job.
If he finishes 4th this season, right, and we get put the cup by Celtic, right, and that's it, that's the season done. We finish 4th. He's not going to get sacked.
But
Third's minimum.
the thing about
He's still going to
Robbie,
get sacked, is he?
he's a
Ambridge
Hearts,
wasn't going to sack Craig Leveinu at his bottom of the table.
but he's a Hearts man.
Robbie
Robbie.
Nielsen he's a Hearts
He's a Hearts
fan.
man.
He loves
and
the. he
it'll
loves
be
the-
hurting him that he's not getting it
And I
right.
know, well, just fucking play some Football Manager. Learn how to be a
Right,
manager.
it's no Will Still we're talking about.
Actually, I proof right there. If Will Still can do it, right, and go and manage a League One team in France, right, and Robbie Nielsen can't beat Motherwell at Fir Park.
Aye, so and I'm still in at the moment, but I'll give it to the end of the season. We need to get third. I don't care what anybody says. If we don't get third, it's a failure. Especially because it's fucking Hibs that are right up our arse right now. So
We're a bit lucky because like we've got a week off next week, which is a break,
Yep.
and then we've got St Johnstone at home, which we should be beating. But we should have beat Motherwell today, but that's all.
aye, Hibs
we should be
fixtures are
beating them.
shocking.
Hibs have got Rangers and Celtic.
Hibs have got Livingston
Back
away,
to back.
then Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah.
So they're getting 1 point out of them 3 because they're not beating Livingston away.
'Cause-
They're not beating Livingston
Livingston
away.
are
Nah,
dropping
it's
off
not
though.
that. It's Hibs are the sort of team that'll go nick a draw with Rangers.
Well, they did it at him
Done
last
it at
time.
him last time.
So
Nah. That against 10 men. Fuck them.
It doesn't
Right.
matter. We struggled to
They're
beat a
not
10-man
fucking-
Dundee United.
Still beat them.
It's like, they've got 10 men. What should we do, Robbie? Pass it back to Sibic, to Hill, to Kingsley. Make sure you get them all. Just skip any of them.
give it to Snodgrass.
Make sure
even though
they
he's
can-
marked by 4 men.
Make sure they can get back and just wander side to side to mark our abysmal tactics.
So
but it's
we've
fine.
got-
I'll make a change in the second half. We'll put Alan Forrest on at left wing back.
To be fair, we've not got much better fixture list. We've got St Johnstone at home, then we've got Celtic away, and then we've got Aberdeen away.
Oh, that's 3 points out of 9.
So as long as we can get more than Hibs in their next 3 games, we'll be fine.
Actually, that's a good question, right? When was the last time we beat Aberdeen at Pittodrie?
Last season. No? This season? No, last season.
2-0 this season.
Last season.
It's
Let's have a skeg. Oh, we've won more than them overall. Woohoo! Right, where are we? Aberdeen at home beat us 2-0. Aberdeen at home beat us 2-1. Aberdeen 2019 is still beating us in Pittodrie.
Oh,
Nice,
shit.
nice. It's like 3 years we've not beat them at Pittodrie.
aye.
Fantastic.
Kids, can't wait.
Ken, this is the year to change it.
Go get tickets.
They're fucking dug meat.
The thing is, right, I'm off. Like, I think it's fantastic we went and beat St Johnstone up there this season for the first time in, 13 years or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's a long
Aye, and then we
fucking
fuck it up by getting beat off Motherwell.
Aye. We should have been beating
I know.
Motherwell.
You think you put all that effort in. You put all that effort into to break a record that's sat for like 6 or 7 years with St Johnstone, and then you screw it up by losing to Motherwell,
Yeah.
who are in the worst vein of form of the season. They don't even have a manager, for God's sake. Well, they do, because that Calwell guy's obviously going to be their manager, but it's still, it's just brutal, isn't it? It's so brutal. Can't
Fucking
stand
dog
it.
shit.
I hate being a Hearts fan now.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Class though, innit?
It's up and down. Let's put it that way. It's up and
It's
down.
actual class.
It's doing more than it's up at sometimes, but aye.
Shaun, when was the last
Shaun?
time?
Oh,
would be
this is
them.
disgusting. I'm back in 2016.
There we go. 2016.
12th of May 2016.
Oh!
That's in the league. There might be a cup game or something somewhere along the line. But in the league, we had to beat them at Pittodrie.
It's a good time.
6.5
Good time
years.
to beat them now.
Wow.
We should be fucking beating them. They're fucking dog shit. Honestly. At our best. Oh, it's fucking enraging because we're no that shit. We're no that shit that we played today. Like.
We're also not that good.
We're better than these teams.
The
Our
thing is,
players are much better
right
than
now,
their
right,
players.
I'd say we're in a little bit of luck because Hibs are not playing well. Aberdeen
Hibs
have
are
got
better
a
than
lot.
they have been.
Aberdeen have got a lot of money, but they've no done much with it so far. All it takes is a good manager to go in there and sort that team out. Good team. Motherwell, a lot of money. All they need is a good manager to go in there and sort that team out. They'll start performing better. We're just lucky right now that these teams are no performing at the level they could be.
But we said that last season as well.
Yeah, no, but then they screwed it up again for 2 seasons in a row, which is
Yeah.
fair. But Hibs are on a decent run. They're sitting fourth, they're only 5 points off us. Aberdeen just needs somebody to go in there and settle that team down and say, here's your rock solid starting 11. Here's some tactics. here's some basic football. That's all they need. And if they start to become more consistent, and we keep playing like we're playing, we're not gonna get third every season.
I don't know, but if we consistently get that money and we can buy players that are better, we will.
Oh, we will.
We will.
We
aye.
will finish third.
The
But we
thing is,
also
though-
we've got a lot of shit. We've got a lot of deadwood.
Yeah,
Or
no.
older players, or people who thought were good but maybe aren't quite at that level. That they need cleared out and they need replaced by hungry players, but that have got ability.
Yeah.
No, we can't be just bringing in young kids thinking, "Oh, this is going to work."
Loaning in players needs to stop.
I mean, it's all right on occasion if you're going to play them, but I mean, I prefer to loan experienced players than loan young kids.
I don't mind loan.
But
You know, we got
It's a waste
Alex
of time.
Cochrane on a loan.
Right, that's
did,
fair.
aye,
Right,
but
some
then
of them,
that
some of
worked
them will work out,
Yeah.
but we're not going to sign Cool. This is not happening.
Nah.
Oh,
Stephen Humphries, if we do sign him, I don't feel like we should sign him. I feel like he's too inconsistent.
I don't think Stephen Humphries is a starter. I think he's an
And
impact
there's a
sub.
reason he
aye.
wasn't getting a game for Wigan.
He's an impact
When his
sub,
confidence is low, he doesn't play well.
No,
And he's proved that
that's
today.
true.
It's terrible.
If we get third this season and we get Europe, we get guaranteed European football, there needs to be a big transfer window. in
There
summer.
does, aye.
There will be a big
Like
transfer window.
It'll have to be a big transfer window. Because we'll have more of that European money guaranteed because they have to spend half
to
of it
spend
this
some of
season
it, yeah.
to get the stadium, so they don't have to spend that next year. so we'll be able to spend more of it. There needs to be players bought in.
It seems like there's
consistent.
a scattershot approach to Hearts transfers. Because they'll sign players that they need, like we have done. I thought Alan Forrest was a signing that Hearts needed. But then they go and sign Keogh. Now, a midfielder we needed, but he's a midfielder that's no playing. So why the fuck did we spend money on him?
I did get why we signed.
What is the point of signing a midfielder when
I
you've
did
got
get-
Devlin?
There's a couple signings
Haring.
that make sense.
I think they signed him to replace Haring. I
What?
think Haring's getting a new
No, I
contract.
don't think there's, but there's
But
a
that's a
few.
year before we needed him.
There's a few
He could have
signings.
waited.
Get him cheap.
There's a few signings that
Second
make sense.
division.
Like we've signed.
Just I get it.
We've got like 6 central midfielders for a formation where we play 2. It makes absolutely no sense.
Because we signed Orestes and
We
all
signed-
these players before Snodgrass came.
Yeah,
Aye.
Snodgrass was
So
after the
Snodgrass
transfer
came all
deadline.
after this.
Right.
So
I mean, I don't think we were ever going to sign Snodgrass. I think the opportunity
So
arose.
who was going to be playing in there?
I would assume it would have been
Keogh
Devlin and Keogh.
or
Aye.
Haring and Devlin.
That's worrying. I think not. None of them can pass.
To be fair, Haring was a good player. Like
Haring's a good player.
He is a good
Yeah.
player, and I'm hoping to see him back at some point.
Haring's probably
He's
same level as.
He's a
Keogh.
calming influence in the team as well,
I like
and he
him.
would actually complement Snodgrass quite well. But I just don't know what's
Aye, 'cause
happening.
you're not going to find Haring wandering up the park.
No,
like that.
Haring knows. Haring's experienced enough to know what
Haring's
his
just
job
like, I'll
is.
tell you what, I'll sit back here.
Aye.
But I don't know. It's probably just off the back of the fact we played so badly the day, but at the same time we never played well against Hibs.
no,
We didn't play fantastic against Aberdeen.
no,
We definitely didn't play well against Rangers.
no.
Oh no, I was
We'll
shocking.
probably get if we play like that today. I mean, I'll take losing 1 or 2-0 to Celtic, but if we play like that against Celtic, it's could be double figures.
We only won against Dundee United because they're 10 man.
Dundee United outplayed us for most
a
of that
long
game
time
until
in
their
that
player
game,
got sent
aye.
off. Even when their player got sent off, they played better than us in the,
the
first
second half. We were fantastic.
The second half we played a lot better. We lost a big chunk of a 20-minute game to Hamilton.
Yeah, but they were always going to come out and press us.
Yeah,
and
but-
Of course
make
they
it
were.
difficult.
But even at that, like when you're playing, if he's playing Hamilton and he's quite happy, to play Snodgrass, Barry Mackay, and Alan Forrest in central midfield against Hamilton, you'll get away with it. If he does that against any SPFL team,
Yep.
we will lose that game.
Well, he tried it against Rangers, remember?
Or the
And
attacking
got
formation.
Absolutely battered.
Yeah.
The attacking
I don't
formation.
want to go through that again.
No. I think.
It's-
I think things might have to change soon.
Robbie
I
out.
don't know if he's going to change his formation.
He's not going to
The
change.
players, the
I'm
starting
defo
11,
not
the
Robbie
squads. I'm not Robbie out either
I'm
yet.
no
but
Robbie out. Like
I just the only thing that sort of sways me to potentially say that they make a change is because I can't get anybody to come in.
Nah, I don't think there's anybody better for us right now than Robbie.
Nah, there's no.
So
No.
Jim Goodwin.
second, I thought you was being serious.
Jim Goodwin. Well, I reckon that I could genuinely go into Hearts and do a better job than Jim Goodwin could, and I'm not
He's
even
terrible,
joking.
eh? Why did they even sign him?
I don't know. He did well at St Mirren.
No, he didn't.
I mean, for St Mirren.
Fucking
he
St
did.
Mirren, no. They're fucking dog shit, these teams, man. Honestly.
I thought
Just
Aberdeen.
don't expect
just
nothing
keep-
these
Exactly. I
teams.
think Aberdeen noticed it. Like Jim Goodwin as a St Mirren manager is just get hammered every week.
Aye.
Play good, decent defensive football
Aye.
and maybe occasionally nick a win. Aberdeen are a team that need to be winning games.
Aye.
Like Aberdeen
You're
realistically should be the third best team in Scotland.
With the money that
They've got good money.
Aye.
They've got a good stadium. They can attract players. They've got a good history. Right? They should be the third best team in Scotland.
For a long time.
But
they were.
their owners are shockingly bad.
So are
They
Hibs owners
do
as
not
well, though.
care about the team. They care about the money they can bring in.
yeah, to a point, but they have spent a lot of money. You know what I mean?
They have,
Let's give
and
us
they've
a lot
got
of
But the
fucking
thing is,
money.
though, you could say the same thing about the Glazers at Man United. They've spent money, but they've no spent money to back their manager. They've thought, well, we can sign him. We'll just sign him. But he has that guy's not got to fit the style of football that they want to play. Like that guy they signed, the captain Stuart, whatever his name is.
Aye.
Yeah,
He's done a lot of
Phoned him
empty
out.
Aye.
yeah. He's captain as well.
I know.
That must have been a weird conversation. to
Also,
have.
the guy they've got for Celtic on loan, Scales. Oh my God, he's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's weird though, because like
Absolutely
McCrory's
terrible.
a very good player.
He is.
But I don't understand Aberdeen, right? Maybe an Aberdeen fan might be able to explain it a little bit better.
Aye,
but
if there's any
looking
Aberdeen
at it-
fans listening, go and tweet us or something.
Looking from the outside in on Aberdeen, they should be the third best team in Scotland because they can create the revenue because they've got a good fan base. We can't deny it. If you got willing to go to Pittodrie and watch a game in that freezing cold wind and stuff,
Right, with that wind coming off the North Sea, it's freezing up there.
You're an Aberdeen fan
Aye,
anyway,
yeah.
right? But it just looks to me like they have somebody like we've got Joe Savage who speaks to Robbie Nielsen and says, "Who do you need?"
Director.
Yeah, I don't think Aberdeen have got somebody who goes to the manager and says, "What players do you want?"
Yeah.
They just
think
see
the
a list of
still...
players that are available and go, "We'll have him, and hell, we'll sign her."
I mean, thinking off the top of my head, the Aberdeen squad, I think the two players that stand out are Duke and Miovski.
Duke, Miovski and Shinnie.
And Shinnie, aye.
Shinnie's
and
class.
they're three players that would... I mean, they come to Hearts and I'd be fucking
Shinnie.
delighted if we got
Shinnie's
them.
a very good player.
The
Very,
players
very
are still Stephen Glassie's players.
Aye.
That's the issue there, exactly.
Aye, exactly.
They've not
But-
moved on.
Aye, so it's... I mean, Aberdeen were the third best team in Scotland for a long time. They really were.
They won a European trophy.
Aye, well...
I'm sick of that patter. Like,
Aye.
they were nothing before Alex Ferguson came.
The only one
nothing after.
They only won a European
They can
trophy
fuck off,
because
like.
they had the greatest manager of
I
all time.
fucking can't stand them.
Stephen Glass.
But
Honestly,
fuck Aberdeen, that's all I'm saying. Put your woolly jumpers
they
on.
were like second for like 7 years in a row in Scotland when
Aye.
Rangers went out, and they never
Yeah.
made it to Europe once.
No.
You know what I mean? They're fucking dug meat.
But that's just owners, isn't it?
Dug meat. We'll get third this season, and we'll get European football next season, and then we'll come to January next year and we'll have the exact same conversation about Nelson coming.
But
Probably.
you should be.
This will be at every fucking season
I don't want
because we're not going to be able to get a manager that's good enough to take us to that next level without spending an exorbitant amount of money.
Why not? Why not spend the money?
Not Hearts will not do that anymore
Why not?
because they do
We've
not
never
want
spent that.
to.
On it. We've never spent loads of money on a manager.
No, but they won't spend loads of money on certain things anymore. They won't
The-
do it.
the thing
They'll
is
do it
the-
sustainably.
But they'll pay actual money for Gary Mackay-Steven.
They'll do it sustainably.
The higher caliber manager you get, you have to pay more for. But you also then have to buy players that he wants to
Which
bring it up
will-
to the level he wants.
You can attract these players over in
He
Europe.
can, but it still means we have to
but
spend
you
the money
still
on
need
them.
to spend
From
an
that.
absolute fortune doing it.
Well,
You need to
it's a
spend
lot of money.
fortune.
You'll need to spend an
You
absolute
need to
fortune.
spend
In
a
our
fortune.
terms, you'll just need to spend a fortune.
We went and paid Dundee United money to get Robbie Nielsen.
We did. It wasn't as much as what you'd be talking
Aye,
for
no,
somebody
but
of
it's
higher
no-
quality.
What's
though.
higher quality though? Somebody who can win a game.
Well, you're the one that wants
But you
Nielsen
can't win
out,
a
right?
game.
So realistically, who would you
There
go
isn't
for?
anybody realistically. That's why I say get rid of Nielsen
Right, so
now.
if you could pick somebody
But yes,
from like a lower championship team or something, who could you go for?
Gary Monk.
Gary Monk was the man I thought at the start of the season. I do admit that.
Guy Monk isn't going to come
But
back.
he's not going to come to Hearts.
Neil Warnock applied for the job.
He did, but he
Neil Warnock
retired
isn't
and he's
gonna
only
come
just
in.
came out of retirement
Ah,
today.
but Neil Warnock applied for the job.
Um,
So if there's players like that, if there's managers like that who want to come, what's wrong with
Well,
trying to poach a manager for the championship?
Ian Holloway's
Because you're
been
gonna have-
linked to Motherwell.
Ian
I
Holloway's
think that's
linked with Motherwell.
an immense appointment if
He's
Motherwell
a
can
he's a
get
great
him.
manager.
But Ian Holloway isn't going to be able to get the players that he wants because Motherwell won't pay the wages that he.
I need the players.
Players.
They'll if he's taking the job, he's obviously going to have a conversation with the club to say these are the sort of players I need. It's then up to the club to find the caliber of player that he wants for their budget.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a team who's run properly should be able to do that. We found players for Robbie Nielsen that he wants.
You're also going to think that Ian Holloway's going to have connections. He's managed a lot of clubs.
Exactly.
It just
He's
depends
going to
how much
know
these-
the youth systems.
Yeah,
and
Ian
the
Holloway
teams
maybe
and-
15, 20 years ago.
He's come to
But
Scotland.
Ian Holloway's managed League 2 football for the past like 6 years.
Which is about the same level as Scottish football.
I don't know, like. Robbie Nielsen's a good manager,
Is he?
And he is.
I like him.
Robbie Nielsen's
I
the
do
best
like him.
manager
Do you
we've had
think-
since
I ju-
fucking Craig Levine
Do
left
you
in
think-
2005.
Do you think if you gave Robbie Nielsen Rangers or Celtic, he'd win the league?
Yes,
I don't.
easy. Piece
I
of
wouldn't.
piss.
Nah. Because if he goes up again, if he's
Can you
saying,
imagine if Celtic were playing this formation in this style of football?
They'd
Can you
have to.
imagine the football they would be playing?
they
Right.
wouldn't be winning anything.
I'm
No,
just
they would.
gonna-
No, they wouldn't, because Celtic have got the capability to attack.
No.
So they're not going to... No manager's going to take over Rangers. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, perfect example, wanted to play that style of football that Robbie Nielsen plays. Sacked.
Can you imagine?
If Celtic played that formation today, with the players that they've got, what would the score have been against
I mean,
Motherwell?
they probably still would have won because they've
No,
got
they would
better
have,
but they wouldn't win the
quality
league.
players.
Still,
But they wouldn't win the
would
league.
have won.
But they wouldn't win the league.
Yes, they would.
They wouldn't, because if you've got your back three passing it all along the line, you got to go to Ibrox and I got to hammer you.
Right. I know people who are Rangers and Celtic fans, and I've actually had this conversation with them, and I said, would you take Robbie Nielsen at either of your clubs because, say Gio was getting sacked, I think I had a conversation with a Rangers fan saying, next best manager in Scotland technically would be Robbie Nielsen. Would you go for him? And it was a categorical no.
Of course they wouldn't. Why would you?
Categorical no.
Why would you?
They said they'd rather get somebody for the championship.
Why would you get Robbie
So
Nielsen?
that tells you everything.
But you can pay.
He is good for Hearts though.
But he's probably the best for Hearts.
That we can get, yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you. I don't think sacking him's the right answer.
You know, maybe 5 years down the line, if we're consistently getting Europe and we're consistently getting money in, maybe go for another better
But
manager.
that's not what they're saying, though.
What
But the thing is,
happens
that
next season if we don't get Europe?
that's what you're saying as a fan, but from the club, they're coming out and saying, "We want to catch Rangers and Celtic." You not got to catch Rangers and
But they
Celtic
have
with
to
Rob
say-
Neal.
they have
No,
to
they
say
didn't.
these
They can
things.
easily come out and say, "We want to be a very
yeah.
top level, consistent Scottish team who are in Europe every single season, bringing money and bringing European football to the fans." Right? I'd take that. But they're coming out and saying, "We want to catch the Old Firm,"
But
but then we
nothing
play the
wrong
Old
with
Firm
saying
and we get pumped.
But you will.
All the time, every single season, more than once, and then Robbie Nielsen comes out and says, "Oh, the referee was
There's
a bit crap
levels
today,
to
wasn't he?"
football, though.
They
You know, it's-
right. The simple fact is, Hearts have got what? How big is Tynecastle? 19,000, is it? 19 and a bit?
19 and a half.
Nah.
I think it's actually 20. I
20,000,
think I saw
but
it's
there's
20,000,
like,
but aye.
there's
So
the-
anyway, so that's the revenue you bring in every 2 weeks. You get your full stadium. Blah blah blah. Rangers and Celtic have got 3 times that,
And that's just from their stadium.
and that's just for their stadium.
And then-
so straight away they're 3 times ahead of us.
And
in
then for
terms-
some reason-
and their ticket prices are more expensive.
And then for
so
some
they're-
reason, people buy players off them for like 20 million quid.
Aye. Then they've got the fact that they can use that money to buy a better quality player who then goes for millions of pounds more than what they spend. So
Yeah.
then they're making that revenue. We can't do that.
No.
We can't get a player that we can buy for 450k and sell him for 10 million. It's
So
not going to
the
happen.
club are just coming out and talking shit.
Nobody's going to come to
Yeah.
Hearts and say, "I'll give you 10 million for Lawrence Shankland." It's not going to happen.
So
because they know if they come 4 million, Hearts would bite their fucking hand off.
Yeah, aye.
So Joe
yeah.
Savage is talking crap then.
Of course he is.
We need
course
to
he
become
is.
a selling club.
But he's saying what he needs to say. That's what he can't come out and say. "Oh, I just want to be the 3rd best team in Scotland," because then it's like, "Oh, we've got no fucking ambition."
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If we're the 3rd best team in Scotland right now, we are 20 points behind second.
Yeah,
And the team behind us is only 5, and it's Hibs, and they've had a fucking terrible season.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Aye.
But we haven't had the best season.
So, like you say, we need to focus on becoming.
Yeah.
We need to create a gap where
Yeah, well, we do.
they're 20 points ahead of us, but we're 20 points ahead of whoever's behind us.
That's how we start.
we need to consistently keep on getting more money in every single season, so it allows us to buy better players, which gets us away from Hibs and Aberdeen.
So Robbie Nielsen can keep playing a back 5 with a striker at white wing back.
That happened once.
One thing I will say, and I really, really do like Cibic and Kingsley and Rolls. We do miss Craig Halkett. Craig Halkett makes a difference.
Craig
to that
Halkett would have
platform.
got bullied off
Nah.
Stephen Fletcher and that.
He's
today.
he's such a good player. He reads the game well. We miss him. We do.
Like, our defenders are all technically brilliant. They're all really good
They
on
are.
the ball, good with their feet. Craig Halkett, you might lose a little bit of that technical ability, but he'll never
He's a
in
good
his
defender.
life be
Aye,
bullied
yeah.
Nah.
off a defensive
That's why I
striker.
like. He always gives you 100%. I mean, he makes mistakes. Every defender does, but no to the extent just passing the ball straight for a corner like Toby Cibic did today.
I think if Rose played today, we would have lost.
I don't know. That's a big statement.
No.
we would have.
The goals are defensive errors.
It always is with us though.
The
It
goals are
always
defensive
is.
errors. You know, if you take, the 2 errors out of it, they had maybe 1 or 2 shots that Xander Clark had to make a save for.
So better than us then.
But we hit the post and hit the crossbar. Hit the post twice and hit the crossbar once.
He's off.
It could well be. Aye. Just shite. To be honest with you, shite day.
Shocking performance.
It just didn't go our way today. And
We'll see. We need
yeah.
a big,
fucking
big.
better beat fucking St Johnston.
If we did beat
If
St
we lose to
Johnstone,
St, it doesn't matter. He's the safest man in Scotland. It doesn't matter. The guy could go out and play a 4-3-3.
But if we get third,
Right.
he is the safest man.
If he goes out,
that's all it's
if we go out and
demanded
play
of him.
4-3-3, put Harlan Forrest at centre back, you probably still will lose his fucking job.
And if we still get third, he won't lose his job, and he doesn't deserve to lose his job.
He does.
No, because he's based on competition performance, and if you become third and make a run in the Scottish Cup, that's all you can ask for him. If we get put out in the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup against Celtic, nobody's expecting us to get to the semi-final.
We should be making a semi-final.
Against Celtic,
The
in
third best
quarterfinal.
team in Scotland to even make a semi.
What if we got Celtic in the 4th round?
Oh,
of the
that's
Scottish
different,
Cup?
right?
We got Celtic in the quarterfinal then.
Right,
So is
admittedly,
that-
admittedly the cup comes to some luck, right? But who put us through the other cup?
League Cup.
Kilmarnock. At
Shouldn't
Tynecastle.
beat that cup
No,
then,
we
should
shouldn't. We shouldn't. That's embarrassing.
That was
That's
embarrassing.
Shouldn't beat that cup then, should
But I
we?
fucking hate that League Cup anyway. It's fucking pointless.
Well, it's
Doesn't
still a
matter,
fucking
right?
trophy.
Trophy's a trophy.
And
you're-
Celtic and Rangers
and-
competing it again.
Exactly. If you're somebody like Hearts, you should be competing for those
The
trophies.
Scottish Cup's really the only important cup.
It's not
Because
any
it's the
cup
cup.
trophy.
I would
Silverware,
rather win
silverware.
a cup I'd rather win a cup than the Scottish Cup. Just the Scottish Cup. I'd rather win the League Cup than get to a quarter final in a Scottish Cup. I'd rather get knocked out in the fourth round if it means winning a trophy.
At least like a trip to Hampden.
Exactly.
At least at Wembley.
Yeah, it's at Wembley. I don't care why you'd
That'd
be
be
down
nice.
there.
To beat
get
beat
pumped-
Newcastle.
Get pumped off the Queen's Park Rangers.
I don't know.
It's just frustrating. It was frustrating the day watching.
So if we
that
finished,
fucking
so we finished third last season when we 12 points clear or something.
By the end of
Aye,
the
so
end.
if by the end of the season we finished third, 2 or 3 points clear, no cup final. That's a step back.
But we've had Europe,
But we've
But
had
Europe.
so
We've
that's a
had
step
European
forward.
group stages.
Because all the players have had that experience.
You know,
Hmm.
this is totally different from just doing qualifiers like
Aye.
Aberdeen have done for the last 10 fucking years.
Aye,
You know, this is
group
a
stage
played 8
football
games
is a big step
a
for
season.
any football.
Oh, it was big. It was
You know
a
what I
big
mean?
step for us.
There's like one player in that whole Hearts 11 that played European football.
And that was a goalkeeper.
Aye. You know what I mean? You can't expect these players to know what they're doing.
I mean, who
Injuries.
Who got unlucky with injuries, who got unlucky in a way with the draw in the group stage as well, because we got teams who are so many levels higher than us. I mean, that
We got lucky with that.
Istanbul, but
That
actually
other
were
team. Who were they?
fucking unbelievable.
RFS.
We got
Aye.
lucky with them because we got to
did.
beat them
We
twice.
got, and yeah, we got 2 wins in Europe, which was incredible.
Yeah.
It just, shite.
It just needs to happen again. We just need to consistently do these things.
Yep.
Don't expect anything in Europe. Just get the money and fuck off. You know what I mean?
We need to start tying players to contracts so that when they do get that European experience, we can get money for them that we can then reinvest in better players.
But there's only a certain like you need to find the players that are good enough to tie into these 5-6 year contracts.
Yeah, I know.
No, but
You
Joe,
know.
Joe Savage has done a relatively good job of that.
He
I
has.
think he's done a really good job. There's only a handful of players that I think he's brought in that aren't the greatest.
Like Gary McKay.
Gary Mackay-Steven maybe one, but
Josh-
he did pay any money for him.
Josh Ginnelly.
Josh Ginnelly, he has certain games. He's done all right. I don't really know who else.
I still don't care why he spent all that money on Keogh for him to sit on the bench.
I think he'll come good. He's bound to come good.
He needs to
For
play
that
games
money,
to
yeah.
come good though. And Robbie would rather play fucking Barry Mackay in central midfield than put him in. Doesn't make any
He
sense.
needs to back off.
Barry Mackay.
Can't
That's another.
stand him the now.
Right. He's a ghost, eh? An absolute fucking ghost, and he brings the team down because we're playing with 10 men every week.
I know what I'm naming this episode though.
Barry the Ghost.
Nah, Casper McKay.
Casper McKay.
He's a fucking passenger. He's Tom
yeah.
Hanks.
He is.
That's his new nickname. He was in that Jennifer Lawrence film with Chris Pratt, Passengers.
Passenger.
That's him and Gino.
Oh.
Him and Gino when they
Did
played.
I get the wrong guy?
I reckon why Tom Hanks, what was he in as a passenger? I don't remember anything.
He was stuck in a terminal.
Oh,
the
the terminal.
terminal.
Fuck's sake. He's what do you call him?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Passenger.
He's just a Pratt. He's just absolute Pratt.
Fucking Barry.
You think
Mackay
having a
one.
kid would make you happy? Nah, I know this guy.
No Barry Mackay.
Comes out, got my wages, I'm happy.
Right, got my 70 minutes of game time, that's all I want.
Now I'll go home and watch the Union Bears.
Their pyro show.
What's his kid's name? Paul Gascoigne Mackay.
Staunch.
Kyle Lafferty Mackay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So the St Johnstone game in 2 weeks. What score are we saying?
6-0 St Johnston.
Is it at home? 6-1.
Oh, 6-1.
Oh, optimistic.
I genuinely think that
2-0 Hearts.
if we dare play better, it's going to be a really scruffy 1-0 win. Potentially 1-0.
I'm going 2-0.
I just see us playing like with the style. What we're currently doing right now is we're not beating anybody. So
It's maroon tinted glasses though. That's my problem.
I'm going 3-0.
To Hearts.
You'd like
I'm
that.
glad you stated that because it could have been anybody.
You'd like that. You'd like that because like with 3-0 to Hearts, then that's an excellent
I get bounce back.
a good bounce back for our performance.
It's something being a Man United fan that I always remember was Sir Alex Ferguson's big thing. If you lose a game, your bounce back ability. That's what he always called it. You need to win your next game no matter how scruffy. And that's what Hearts need to do at St Johnstone.
We're going to beat St
to win.
Johnstone
Need to win.
at home. 3-0. Piece of piss. Shankland to get a hat trick. That's it. Done.
It'll be, to be fair, if he scores a hat trick for defensive midfield, it's really impressive.
Aye, would be, aye. He's playing that deep that he needs to score like Humphreys did.
He's playing that. He's playing that deep. He's in the fucking cupboard with Aslan and that.
He's playing that deep. He's behind Clark's goal line. Fucking ridiculous. He might as well be sitting in the stands at times, eh? Because you can't affect their game in midfield when you're a fucking striker.
He'd walk out. Watching that. He'd walk out.
They walk out like the Gorgie Ultras.
Hey!
I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
Okay,
That's us cancelled.
You're getting found
No, actually, what I will say is,
That's him tracking
I'm tracking back here a little bit. That was a joke. I'm tracking back, and I will say at the Hamilton game, they were fucking incredible. They were incredible,
really good.
and they're doing well for Hearts. They really are. It's creating an atmosphere both home and away. So I hope that they do get their lower stand that they want next season, and they can all get together.
Okay, and you'll be right in centre.
And I'll be in the centre getting my face kicked in for what I say on my podcast.
Sound. Is that us then?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Sound. Well, thanks for listening to this emotionally charged
Yeah.
episode.
We basically just whined for 50 minutes.
Yeah,
Aye,
I know.
I'll still stick with the Robbie out though. I'm not changing
Aye.
that.
Oh,
Just
fuck's sake.
If you want,
know right now.
if you want to hear 330-something Hearts fans moaning for 50 minutes, this is your podcast.
You said at the end of the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe they'll start at the end to see what's happened.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you in
Thanks
2
very
weeks.
much.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.